The Bible verse that helped me forgive myself. Some things are easy to forgive in others, but when it comes to yourself, it's different. I've said things I wish I hadn't, made decisions I still question, and hurt people, not because I meant to, but because I didn't know better at the time. Or maybe I did, and still failed anyway. And even long after they moved on, I didn't. I replayed the moments, rewrote the conversations in my mind. I carried the weight quietly, letting it shape the way I saw myself. I thought, maybe God forgave me, but I'm not allowed to forgive myself. As if holding on to guilt was the price I had to pay to prove I was sorry. I thought that if I let it go too soon, it would mean I didn't care enough. So I held it, and over time, it started holding me. Then one day, I wasn't even looking for comfort, just flipping pages in quiet, and I found a verse that didn't excuse what I'd done, but it reminded me who I still was, even after the mistake, and that changed something in me. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has gone, the new is here. 2 Corinthians 5 verse 17. I'd heard that verse before, probably even quoted it to others. But the moment I read it for myself, while still carrying the weight of my own guilt, it hit differently. Not because I suddenly believed I was perfect, but because I finally believed I didn't have to stay stuck in who I used to be. The old has gone. That line wrecked me, because I'd been living like the old me still had control, like my past self was still the one making the rules. I thought forgiveness meant just trying harder, being better, proving I had changed. But this verse didn't ask me to prove anything. It asked me to receive something, a new beginning, one I didn't earn, but one I was offered, because grace doesn't wait for us to be ready. The new is here, not someday, not after I fix everything. In this breath, in this quiet, in this moment where I finally started to believe that maybe I could forgive myself too. I wish I could tell you I made peace with myself quickly, but the truth is, it took time. For the longest while, I thought I had to punish myself for my mistakes, that if I carried the guilt long enough, maybe somehow I could undo what I did. But guilt doesn't undo. It just lingers, quietly, invisibly, and it starts to shape how you see everything, especially yourself. I started to believe I wasn't worthy of soft things anymore, that I had to settle for less, accept silence, expect consequences, and call it justice. I would pray, not for blessing, but for strength to carry the shame. And every time someone offered grace, I backed away, because deep down, I didn't think I deserved it. One evening, I found myself flipping through my Bible, not looking for anything, just trying to feel close to something that wasn't disappointment. And that's when I saw it again. If anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has gone, the new is here. I stopped. Reread it. Slower this time. The old has gone. I whispered those words like a prayer, like I needed to convince my own heart that it could let go. I didn't feel new, but for the first time, I believed it was possible. That maybe forgiveness wasn't about forgetting what happened. It was about learning to stop punishing myself for something grace had already covered. That verse didn't erase my past, but it did something even deeper. It gave me permission to step into who I was becoming, instead of staying chained to who I used to be. I used to think forgiving myself meant I was letting myself off the hook, like I was pretending what happened didn't matter, or minimizing the pain I caused. But that's not what forgiveness is. Forgiveness isn't denial. It's release. It's saying, yes, I made a mistake. Yes, I hurt someone. Yes, I wish I had done things differently. But I will not carry this forever. You can carry guilt so long that it begins to feel like a part of you, like a scar you have to explain before anyone gets too close. But that's not what God asks of you. He doesn't say, be perfect, then I'll love you. He says, come to me, even with the cracks, even with the shame, even with the part of yourself you can't seem to forgive. The old has gone, not because we pretend it didn't happen, but because grace makes room for who we are now. And grace isn't afraid of your past. You don't have to keep paying for a debt that was already forgiven. That's the lesson. That's the miracle. That sometimes the kindest, holiest thing you can do is look at the part of yourself you've hated the longest and whisper, you were wrong, but you are still worthy, and it's time to come home. If there's something you've done that you can't seem to let go of, if you lie awake at night, replaying old conversations, wishing you could rewrite just one moment, I hope you hear this. You are not what you did. You are not frozen in time, trapped in a version of yourself you no longer recognize. And you don't have to keep punishing yourself to prove you care. If anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has gone. The new is here. That verse isn't just about second chances. It's about new identity. It means God doesn't see you through the lens of your worst moment. He sees you through grace. You are more than your regrets. And your healing doesn't dishonor your pain. It simply means you're choosing to live forward. If this story gave you even a sliver of peace, I invite you to subscribe to Hush Journal. Here we tell quiet stories for people who carry quiet shame. We believe in grace that stays, in forgiveness that lingers, and in a God who still whispers, you are not too far gone. You don't have to carry it all forever. You don't have to explain your scars. Just bring your tired hands and let go. We'll be right here, in the quiet, every time you need someone to remind you you can forgive yourself. And it's okay to begin now.